Greetings, class. Today we're going to talk about persuasion. You have a little slideshow here that I'm going to go through with you. As we go through it, I want you to use these notes and fill them in. You can write it in your own words, paraphrasing. You can also write exactly what you see on the screen. You can also draw a little picture on the side to help you remember these terms. This is going to be glued in your reader's notebook in the notes section right next to your other media literacy notes. Thanks. Okay. All right, so let's get started. What is persuasion? We talked about it being a way to convince people. This can be to buy a certain product, such as an ad or advertising, or commercial. It can also be to get people to believe something or act in a certain way, such as politics or like getting people to recycle, or even just to agree with their point of view. Um, Okay, here's some common persuasive techniques used in advertising. All of these are listed on your note sheet. Now, the first one we're going to talk about is slogan. Can you hear me now? It's a catchy phrase that's used to sell a product. Now, if you think of Verizon, they use the "Can you hear me now" guy. And then if you think of like McDonald's, it's like "I'm loving it." And then you have things like milk, which would be "Got milk." Those are things you hear over and over again, and you can't help but think of the product. So, slogan. Repetition. This is just when the name of the product is repeated over and over. The example here is a good one. If you've ever seen this ad, it just repeats head on over and over again. This is used often in like infomercials, those shows on TV that are really just one long commercial. Bandwagon. It's a statement that suggests that everybody should use their product. Come on, everybody's doing it. So like Nike, just do it. Another one I think of is like Coca-Cola because they have their commercials and they show like everybody cool is drinking a Coke. So things like that. So everybody's doing it, you should too. Testimonial. This is when somebody well-known, an athlete, an actor supports a product. This happens a lot with sports. You'll see it like after the Olympics or after like an NBA championship. All of a sudden, those athletes are all over a certain product. Um, One thing I think of is HEB has the Spurs, and they make these little funny commercials about how great HEB is. So that's a testimonial. Emotional appeal. That's when you're just pulling at the heartstrings. The one I think of the most is that that animal shelter commercial where they have the sad animals in the cages, and it's like that long song, I will remember you, and all that kind of stuff. And it really makes you kind of want to cry. It's very sad. Um, Another thing is expert opinion. Um, a lot of times this is used for gum, like when a dentist recommends it. So it is an expert who, in their opinion, thinks you should have this product. This is a pretty big deal, like with medicines or sports drinks and things like that, when they're saying you do this because a doctor said it's great, or a dentist, or someone who's an expert in that field. All right, so here are a few of them. We have slogan, repetition, bandwagon, testimonial, emotional appeal, and expert opinion. So here's some things you need to know. Advertisers really know how to target you as their audience. They can use appropriate persuasive techniques. So when we think about who your audience is, they think, what would work best for you? You guys are middle schoolers, and so you're technically always worried about what people think about you and fitting in. So the bandwagon is used a lot for products in your age demographic because they're like, these guys really want to fit in, and if everybody else is doing it, they'll want to do it too. So like brand name clothes and things like that. So let's take a look at some of these. Frosted Flakes. Who might be the audience for this? Okay, if you said kids, or you would be right, because they're focusing on not only eating cereal, but they have a cartoon character, and so it's trying to appeal to a younger audience. Now, what about this one? Who are they trying to appeal to? If you said adults who are trying to lose weight, you would be right on that as well. So, see, it says drop a jean size in 2 weeks. Might even be appealing a little more to women on that one. Okay, So let's look at this ad. And it says, "Are you a girl with a star-spangled heart? Join the WAC now." That's the Women Army Corps. Thousands of Army jobs need filling. So this is an old advertisement. So what is its purpose? Okay, it wants women to join the WAC. The audience, pretty well focused at women. What persuasive technique are they using? All right, they've got a flag in the background, so there's some patriotism there. I think with this one, it's very much an emotional appeal. They're appealing to your sense of patriotism, because if you're an American or a girl with a star-spangled heart, you would join this. You would do that. So kind of the almost bandwagon too. Everybody, all the other girls are doing it. Okay. All right, we're gonna. So let's look at this one. What's the purpose? Well, it sure looks like they're trying to sell you a bicycle. The audience? Children or even adults too, because it's got a lot of information down here. Persuasive technique. And for this one, persuasive techniques, it says America's first bicycle, 1877. It's got some facts, so maybe some expert opinions, things. It's a little hard to see. All right, here's a little one that's a little bit more familiar. So what is the purpose of this ad? Well, it's to get you to go to McDonald's. And who's the audience? I think this one's a little more general. It doesn't state a specific audience, so it would just be all people. And then it says, what persuasive technique are they using? I'm loving it. They're using a slogan. All right, so here's some interesting facts. So advertisers spend about $2 billion a year on TV advertising. I've had this PowerPoint for a couple years now, so I would say that's even gone up more now. The average cost for a Super Bowl ad is $2.6 million for a 30-second spot. And average American watches 24,000 hours of TV 24,000 TV commercials a year. So when we talk about what's influencing us, ads are definitely influencing us. You might also stop to think about, you guys may not watch as much TV, but I bet plenty of you are YouTube users, and there are lots of ads on YouTube. Even Hulu or things like that, they have ads online. And so you're seeing more ads than you think. And even if you get to skip through the first part, you're seeing part of it. Okay? So you can make some connections here. Think about your favorite jingle or what slogan for your product do you find yourself saying? Like what kind of connections do you have for that? What TV commercials influence you to make a purchase? I get really influenced with organizations like Tom's Shoes because they make me feel really good about making a purchase. And so things like that. So you might want to think about like what is influencing you to make your purchase? Is it because everybody else is doing it? Is it because they've got a great jingle you can't get out of your head and all of a sudden it makes you want that burger or something like that? Okay. So as a reflection, persuasion is all around you. It's in the media, and that includes TV and advertisements. Okay, so where else do you see persuasion? Does it influence you, your family in any way? Maybe what you buy or what you do? All right, so spend the day thinking about that. And that is about it for your persuasive notes. Make sure you've gotten everything written down. If you haven't, go back and add to it. I did include a couple videos you can watch, some of the advertisements that were in this PowerPoint, and you can watch them on your own and kind of break down the persuasion used on those. Thanks. Bye.